And that whole thing where we treat prisoners like they aren't people isn't cool. Like, yes, they committed crimes, they should be punished, and I mean, that does make sense. I mean, it's like going into timeout when you're a kid. It's like, oh, you took an extra cookie. I know it's worse than that, but still. It's like you took an extra cookie, you go in timeout, you learn from it, you probably do it again, because I know I took cookies from cookie jars. Who didn't? Everyone makes mistakes. I got punished, and then I was on my way, and I often, I stopped doing it after my parents talked to me and told me what was bad, and, health reasons and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't punish prisoners, but I think there does need to be more, I guess, rehabilitation, too. I am saying this from I am informed, but I'm not that informed viewpoint. I'm saying this from the few articles I've read. The show Orange is the New Black, which is based on a real story. It's based off a book, which was written by the main character, basically. And from my sociology 1 and 2 classes and psychology class, that's where I know my info from. So, yeah, it's not the best, but it's what I got. But, once people get out of prison, I might link you to a video by Hank Green for this. Once people get out of prison, they aren't allowed to get any government help anymore with, money or places to stay, and jobs are allowed to discriminate and not hire them because they were in prison. I guess it kind of makes sense, if they had been put in prison for tax fraud, that they don't get hired at a tax place or other places where they would be directly handling the money. But that doesn't mean they can't get hired at, a car dealership and they can sell cars. That's just an example, but, I know with how it's set up now, any place could just be no, we're not hiring you because you were in prison. I mean, I guess to me that's saying, no, we're not hiring you because you're black, or you're gay, or anything like that. And trust me, I have nothing against either of those. I am very, I love everyone. It was an example. But it just, I don't know, watching the show Orange is the New Black, and since I do know it's a moderately accurate representation of actual prisons, I mean, I assume the show's probably exaggerated, but I'm planning on reading the book soon, so maybe I'll have a better informed video I can put up about this later. But it's just hard because there's just so many problems, and they are extending the sentences for any crimes. Children are being sentenced for adult crimes, they're being sentenced as adults and they can be put in prison for life as young as, any age. I mean, children are being tried as adults as young as, 13 and 12 and 13. That's really young. It makes a bit of sense when they're 17, but they're still not considered adults. Our brains aren't fully developed till we're 25. And I'm not saying I want to raise the age of being an adult. I think 18 is a fine age, but, I mean, if we're going to stick with 18, then we should stick with 18 all around, with when you can go to prison for the rest of your life. And yeah, when you can get tried as an adult. Because as it is right now, if you go into prison as a minor and that you aren't tried as an adult, and then you can stay in prison. You'll stay in a juvenile detention center. The longest you can get sentenced as is you can stay in a juvenile detention center till you are 18, and then you can go to a real prison till you're 25. That's the longest you can get sentenced as a juvenile. But if, like, a juvenile was tried as an adult and was called an adult based on the crime they did, then they could get put in prison for their entire lives for something that, I mean, at the age of 13 or even 17, I think there's a pretty strong chance that you could get rehabilitated and not do that again. You know, I guess that's makes sense to me. And I mean, if they're not saying this is everyone, but if there is a psychological problem, like if they're a sociopath or a psychopath, and I mean, I know not all sociopaths and psychopaths kill people, but that's just an example. But like, if there is a problem that is causing them to want to kill people, then they can get a different kind of help for that, and they still won't have to go to prison for their whole lives, and they could go back into society. And yeah, just the prison system's really messed up. I will probably make a better informed video about that later, but I've just been feeling very fired up about it, watching the show Orange is the New Black and doing some reading, and like I said, I learned a lot well, not a lot, but I learned a lot more than what I knew in my sociology classes and my psychology class, and I'd like to know more about how it is and what I can do to help, so that's why I'm posting this video now. That's all. Thank you, YouTube. Bye.